Hey everybody, it's Pastor Shelton. I've got a great word for you today. It comes to us from Isaiah chapter 54, verse 4. It reads this way. Do not be afraid, you will not be put to shame. Do not fear disgrace, you will not be humiliated. You will forget the shame of your youth and remember no more the reproach of your widowhood. This reminds me of the Apostle Paul. If you recall, before he became an apostle, before he started in Christianity, he used to persecute the Jews of the day. He would call some to be put to death and others to be thrown into prison. Then he had a miraculous change when Jesus visited him on the way to Damascus. When Paul became an apostle, he had to go to places and preach. And you can imagine that in some of these places, he had to visit places where he knew some of those people, or at least those people knew him. Maybe it was a brother that he had persecuted and thrown into prison. Maybe it was another person whom he had actually had killed. He had to walk through a time where I'm sure there was a lot of shame, embarrassment, disappointment, just self-examination, where people may have called him out and not shown him a lot of grace. I remember in a certain part of the scripture where Paul says that he had done so many different things, that God had just used him. He had even been to, it says, the third heaven and saw things and heard things that he can't even utter here on earth. But then he says that a messenger of Satan came to torment him, to help to humble him. And he said he asked the Lord 3 times, take this from me. And then the Lord said, my grace is sufficient for you. Let that be somebody's word today. Listen, if you're feeling like if you're walking in shame, if you've had something that you've done in your youth, in your past, remember the scripture that says, you will forget the shame of your youth. Do not fear disgrace, you will not be humiliated. Listen, who God calls, he equips. Other people may want to put you to shame, but remember what God says, that you are a child of the Most High God. Walk in this, knowing that you do not have to be ashamed. Let your youth be your youth. Let your past be your past. If God has put a calling in your life, walk in that calling today. Again, whom God has called, he will equip. And God is not one who makes mistakes. So I ask you today, if you're feeling shame about something in the past, if it's causing you to miss out on what God is calling you to do, it's time to stand up and say, no more Satan. I will not listen to that voice anymore. I'm going to listen to the voice of God. I'm going to walk in the calling that God has given me, and I will follow the path that is laid out before me. God bless you. I hope this blesses you.